Live stream, got it. All right, now I need to switch over to the other. Hello, neighbor. Thanks for joining me tonight in my Creating in My Corner. I'm Alicia Dolan, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Tonight we are going to case a card. So a friend of mine sent me a video. I can't remember exactly what day it was, but it was recently. And she said, "Isn't this card really cute?" And yes, it is really cute. So I want, uh, sorry, I'm trying to get my lighting right, but it's um looking a little bright here tonight. Um, so and I thought it was really cute. So we're gonna case it tonight. And I did already make it once, but I didn't write down all the measurements. So when I sent out my email on Wednesday, if you're signed up, if you're on my email list, then you will get the measurements to all this wonderful card. Okay, and here's what it looks like. Isn't that cute? He's a little owl. And then when you open it up, he comes right out of that little hole. Okay, so here, let me show you again. Maybe in a more organized sort of fashion. Isn't that cute? Okay, so that's what we're going to be making tonight. And this stamp set is the Adorable Owls, and that's in the Sale-A-Bration catalog. So if you order $50 in products by the end of February, then you can choose to have this stamp set for free. I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. And if you have any questions about Sale-A-Bration, please message me and I will get back to you right away and answer your questions. Hold on, now I'm going to switch the camera, so hopefully it goes really smooth. Okay, now here we are over in our stamping space. And this is the card we're going to case tonight. Let's see, can you see that all right? I'm trying to make sure. So it opens up like this. We know for sure that we are going to use the Adorable Owls stamp set. It does look too bright. I don't know how to fix that, you guys. I hope that you can see. It does look a little too bright to me. So let me know if you are having trouble seeing. And I will try to figure, I don't know, maybe if I, hold on, if I turn my light off, well, then I won't be able to see it all. And I think it'll be much too dark. But tonight I am right under the light where usually I'm back a little bit. So I think I need my light to move, but it hasn't yet. Okay. So we're gonna try and make this work, even though it's very bright here on my table. All right. So we know that we need the adorable owls. We're going to need some Memento ink, black tuxedo black. I have that right back behind me. We're going to need some Stampin' Blends to color our owl. And this designer series paper here is the Ringed with Nature paper. So we're going to grab that. And it looks like we need some basic white and Sahara sand and mossy meadow. White. Okay, and Sahara sand and mossy meadow. So if you are stamping along with me and you are substituting different papers or stamps, then I'll be giving you the measurements as we go along, and I'll give them in the email later on this week. Okay, so first we're gonna do our card base here, and this one is just your basic 8.5 by 5.5. So we're gonna get our piece of Sahara sand, and I have one right here. Let's see if it measures the right. We want it to be 5.5, which is right here, by 8.5. So this one's gonna work. And then we're gonna turn it sideways and score it here at 4.25. And then we can just fold it in half. And I'm going to use a bone folder to just press that fold. Okay, and there is our base. So next we're going to make this piece of basic white. And I had a ruler down here, but I cannot find it anywhere. Hard to believe, right? But I do have a little measuring tape that I was using the other day with my sewing machine. So for now, that'll have to do. All right, so our piece of white is going to be 8 by 5.25. That's what it looks like to me. Okay. So here's our basic white. And we're going to turn this sideways and measure at 5.25. Now, if you're following along and I'm going a little bit too fast, you can let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll just keep going at the speed I'm going, because I know that if you're watching later on YouTube or even on Facebook, I think now you can speed up or slow down the videos that you're watching. So sometimes that's really helpful. All right, I said 5.25 by 8. So let's see, this is 5.25 by 8. We're just going to cut that there. I'm trying to write these down a little bit as we go, because I didn't write them down ahead of time, and then I couldn't remember exactly what they were. 5.25 by 8. Is that right? Okay, hold on. Let's measure that against it and see. Yep, that looks good. Okay. 5 1/4 by 8. So now we're going to take this white piece and we need to score it at the half mark, which would be 4. And then on the one side, we need to score it at half again. So that would be at 2. So we're going to go 4. And then if we go to 6, so there's our piece. That's 5 1/4 by 8. And it's scored here at 4. And then again here at 6. Okay, so that's going to fold in half this way. And let me get my bone folder again. Let me know if you can hear me tonight. If you can, give me a thumbs up. I can see that a few people are watching, but I don't see any comments yet. And it always helps at least a little bit to see a thumbs up or a comment. That just lets me know that you can hear me. And if not, you can always let me know later that you can hear me. But if you can't hear me, I guess you can't hear me telling you to give me a thumbs up. Okay, so here is this piece that's going to go along the side. And next, I think I'd like to work on the front. So what we're going to do is, if we look at the front of the card we're going to case, this one has one background layer and then a layer that's designer series paper. For a second there, I lost it completely. Okay, so the designer series paper is going to be, we could measure it if we wanted to, but I know for sure that it's going to be 4 by 5 1/4, just because of the size of it and the way that it looks against the other. Okay, so we're going to cut our paper 4 by 5 1/4. Just like that. You guys, if you don't have the Stampin' Up trimmer, this is my favorite trimmer. The favorite trimmer I've ever had. Oh, Anne, thank you. Okay, good. So hopefully everyone can hear me. All right, and we're going to layer this on here like this. And now I'm going to cut my piece of designer series paper before we go any farther. So this is the Ringed with Nature paper. And this is the one I used the first time. Now, I think this time I'd really like to use this one here with the little owl. Maybe, let's see, I think if I use this corner down here, I will get, I'll get a nice image of that little owl. Can you see him in there? He's so cute. Okay, so what we want to do is, since our first layer was 4 by 5 1/4, this one is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. And the reason I know that without measuring is because I have been making a lot of cards lately. And so some of the basic layers I've come to be fairly familiar with. Okay, so there's 3 3/4. And I want this little owl down here. So I'm going to turn it this way and cut it here at 5. Okay, and so now we're going to glue this on here and then this on here, and then we are going to run it through our die cutting machine with the layering circles dies. So when we're doing this, usually I tell you to put your layer of glue around the edge and down the middle. This time we're just going to do around the edge. So I have my Tombow liquid glue here, and I am just doing a thin line around the edge. Like this. Oh, and I forgot to leave a space for my finger this time. Usually I do that too. I didn't leave myself much room. All right, so we're gonna center it on here on the white. And because we use liquid glue, we can slide it around a little bit. It will move. Okay, so there is that. And then we're going to do the same thing and glue it to the front of the card. I hope you're doing well tonight, Anne. I'm glad you're there and you're watching. I know you've probably had a busy day. I feel like most of your days are really busy. All right, so this time I left myself a little spot for my finger to hold that piece while I turn it over. I find that helps instead of if I glue all the way around, I'm more likely to get glue all over my fingers and then everywhere else in the process. All right, so here is the front of our card and we've got our 2 layers on there. Now what we're going to do next is just a little I get it. My kids had 3 snow days this week, and one of the days I was babysitting too. So it was it's nothing like having little kids, but it's definitely way busier than days doing anything else. All right. I have got here my Big Shot machine. And this is the multi-purpose platform because I don't have the Stampin' Cut emboss machine, the big one. You need the big one for this project, not the mini. But right now, if you do want to get the mini, it's a fabulous time because of Sale-A-Bration. You can get the mini and $175 worth of product for only $129 with free shipping. And the mini one even comes in blue, and it's the most beautiful blue. So if you are looking for one of those, you should get it. Okay. I'm gathering up all my stuff here. I wasn't as organized tonight as I should be. Okay. I've got my first clear plate here. And I'm just looking for where I put the second one. Oh, there it is. Right in the basket where it belongs, wouldn't you know? All right, so we're gonna put our card base down like this. Did I put it on the edge? I think I probably put it close to the edge. All right. Now I've got it so that it's kind of hanging off the end here a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I find that it works a little better for me. That way I don't get a line, especially because the whole, well, let's see if the whole card will fit on there. Then it won't. Oh, it will. Okay, so then it won't be so bad. But what I don't want to do is have half my card on and half of it off my plates, because then the plates won't cut. The plates will cut, they'll still cut through, but they'll make a line in your card. All right, let's see what size do we need here. That one's a little too big. Going down. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna put this right in the center. And I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm not gonna measure. You can measure if you want it to be exactly in the center. We're gonna put our plate on top. And then we're going to squeeze it together and push it in the machine until that handle starts to turn a little bit. Oh, I didn't get in there quite far enough. Oh, you know what? I bet I'm on the wrong. Okay, hold on. I might be on the wrong. No, that looks right. Let's see. All right, I'm going to try it one more time. Go figure. I'm trying to do it live and something's going to go wrong. All right, I'm going to get our card all the way on that plate. And set this in the middle. Okay, we're going to put this plate on top. And we're going to pinch them together. Oh, I don't know. Why am I having such a struggle with this tonight? I don't know. Let's see. Something. I feel like something's not quite right here. Maybe I'm starting on the wrong side. Okay, let's try that. All right, I've turned it around so that my fold is in the middle. And let's see if that helps. And actually, I'll put the skinny side in first. Because this side only has one layer. And then I'll put this side. All right, here we go. I don't know why that wouldn't go through the last time. It's still not wanting to go through at all. All right, hold on. Let's see here. Okay. So it's because I forgot to take the silicone sheet out. See that? That was messing me up. All right. Now everything's going to go smooth from here on out. All right. So we've got our magnetic plate, our not magnetic plate, but our base plate, our cutting plate. Here is my card base. I'm going to put that circle right back where it belongs. All right, and I just had too many layers of stuff on there the first time. Now it's gonna go right through. Okay. Now, when we take this out of here, we'll have, let's see, if it cuts all the way through, we should have 3 layers of circles. There we go. And we're just going to set those to the side because we can use them for something else. Okay, and then next, we're going to need to put our white inside part on. I can't believe I forgot that silicone mat was in there. No wonder it wouldn't go through. That was a mess. Okay, so here's our piece of white that we made. We're going to turn this over and add our glue to this. A little bit around the edge and a squiggle down the middle. And then this one, you're going to put on the inside of this card. So it's going to go just like this. We're going to line it up in the center. And press it down. Okay, so now you can see how you could probably do different things with this card. So we're at the point right now where this folds in and this folds over. So there's probably a lot of different things you could do with that little inside part of this card. But we're still going to copy this one here. So what we need next are our pieces for here and for here. So let's measure those, and they're exactly the same because we know these are 2 by 5 1/4. So those are going to be 1 3/4 by 5. So both of these mossy meadows are 1 3/4 by 5. We're going to cut those out. And I've got some scrap here that I think will work. So let's put that in at 1 3/4. Then we can turn it to the side and cut our 5-inch pieces. Okay. And I'm sorry if I got a little excited about that Sale-A-Bration deal, but it really is a great deal. I joined Stampin' Up during Sale-A-Bration, and just because I love the products and I wanted that 20% discount for myself. And I don't regret it at all. I love all the stuff that I have purchased. Okay, so then we need our designer series paper. And we use these little V's. I use these little V's for, let's see. But you could use any, let's use this pattern this time. This is on the back of the leaf pattern that I used the last. So these are going to be 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. Okay, so 4 3/4. And then there's 1 1/2. And another 1 1/2. Okay. So those are going to go just like this. I think this is going to be just as cute as the first one. Okay. So now we will need that little white piece to stamp our owl on, that little white circle. But let's put these together right quick and add those to our card. So we're going to turn over the designer series paper. And I'm going to add my glue to those. So a little thin line around the edge. And a little squiggle in the middle. All right, and we're going to glue those down. Now, if you wanted to, you could glue your Mossy Meadow to your card first and then glue the designer series paper down. I don't have a specific policy for which pieces I glue first. There are some things I do always the same way every time, like tying a bow. When I tie a bow, I have to do it the same way almost every time. But other things I don't. So I'm sure you guys are like that too. There's probably some things you do same way every time. Like every day I get up, and in general, the first thing I do is get my cup of coffee. or start a pot of coffee if there's none left. Okay. There's that. And I know it's probably not the most healthy thing to do, but that's the first thing I do once I'm up and out of bed. Okay, and we're gonna glue these right on those little panels on the side. All right, so there we have our, okay, look how it's coming along. It's turning out really cute. Okay, we need to next stamp our little owl. So I'm gonna grab my Stamparatus. And here's my little circle. Now, if you did glue all your pieces together and your little circles didn't come apart, you can always cut a new little circle. Okay, here are our adorable owls. And I think this time I'll use the one with the bow tie because I used this one already. These are so cute. I really like these little owls. Okay, so we'll line up our little bow tie owl. I'm just trying to get them so that I can still have my magnet down. Hold everything in place. And I don't like to stamp too close to my hinge. So you'll find I stamp either out this way or down that way a lot of the time. Okay, now we're going to add our ink. First, I'm going to set my stamp case under here because I like it to be a little bit of a flatter surface to work with. So we're going to tap our ink on. And it may seem a little excessive. If your ink is new, you might not need to tap as many times. But I'd rather tap lightly lots of times than tap heavy, press heavy, and end up with an image it's a little smudgy. Okay, so we're going to press down. And there is our cute little owl. I hope you can see that. It looks, I don't know, on my screen it looks really bright. And I don't know how to fix that. I will work on it before next week again. Okay, so here is our little owl. And we're going to color him in using some Stampin' Blends. So the last time I did this, I think I used Ivory and maybe some crumb cake. There's that. And let's see. This one is bronze. And then let's use some Mossy Meadow for his bow tie. All right, let's color his bow tie first. The Stampin' Blends are alcohol-based markers. They color really nice. They generally won't make your ink bleed. Now they will go through the paper a little bit. Like if you turn it over, you'll see them come through on the other side, but they color really smooth. And so I have to tell you, I didn't like them at first, but they've really grown on me. The more I've used them, the more I like them. Because I am not a huge marker person. I prefer most of the time colored pencils or watercolors. Something that's fairly easy to layer and color with. But I found that these are really, they're much more forgiving than I thought they would be. All right, so let's do, let's have his eyes be brown. I think my last one had blue eye, so let's see. And I don't know why, but I want to call him Woodrow. Does that make any sense at all? No, I don't know if it does. But that's what sticks in my mind today. I feel like his beak should be kind of an orange color, but I don't have an orange. Let's go with this petal pink. And then maybe I'll add a little something to it if I feel like it's not quite enough. All right, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of pink in his ears. I am not by any means an owl expert, and so I don't know exactly what owls look like. I like them. I've never not liked them, but I'm just not an expert on them. Okay, let's see. Which one was the ivory? Okay, so we'll use this one. We'll color his stomach. And see how easy it is to color with these. And if you do get some of these Stampin' Blends, make sure that you're coloring really gently and kind of on the side, because this brush tip will smash and you can very easily ruin it. And that's not fun. All right, let's go with the crumb cake next. And I'm just going to color him all in with that crumb cake. And then we'll add some more colors in a minute. But this will be like our base color. So we're just going to color them in. See, I don't know if I can zoom in so you can see when I'm coloring. Let me see if I can do that. No, I don't think I can. No. All right. I'll try to figure out a way to do that so you can see a little better. I'll stop and show you too. I find when I'm coloring with the Stampin' Blend, it's not when I do watercolor or I do colored pencils, it takes a lot more layers sometimes to get the look I want. But the Stampin' Blends are definitely, if you want to color quick, these are for sure the way to go. All right, so here's where we're at so far. There, I think that's the best view of his color right there. And then I'm going to add some of the darker crumb cake and some of that bronze. So I'm going to start with the darker crumb cake, which is right here. And I'm going to use that, the tip that's more like a marker than a brush. Okay, and I'm going to go along the edges here a little bit of his wings. Along the areas I think would be a little more shady. Go up there. And I'm using this marker very lightly. I'm not pressing hard at all. Just enough to get a little color on here. Maybe a little bit right now. Right, and I'm going to color his feet the same color I colored his feet. Kind of that petal pink. But I've already put a little bit of that crumb cake on there. So that's going to change the color just slightly. And then I'm going to go back with the light crumb cake. And I'm going to color right over top of where I added the dark. I'm just going to add like a second layer of color in there, and that kind of blend it in a little bit. And I find that going back over there with that second layer of the lighter color kind of smooths it out and gives them a little more texture. Let's see. I hold it like this. Can you see that really well? So there is our little owl. So we use mossy meadow, crumb cake, ivory, which goes with the bronze and ivory, and petal pink to color our little owl tonight. And I will include that in our in this week's email. I don't think I sent out an email with this first one in it because it was kind of a spur of the moment. But if you would like, I could include the colors that I used in that first owl as well. He turned out pretty cute too. He, the owl, I don't know. But for this one, I actually looked up a few pictures of owls, and I had seen one with some blue on their beak, and I thought it was the cutest little thing. I don't know if it was a real owl or not. I have no idea. Okay, so now we're going to put this card together. And what we want to do is glue our little owl in here so that it fits right like that. So what I'm going to do is take and flip it over, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue here on what would be my right hand side. So I'm just going to do like kind of a half moon of glue here. Whoop! I just threw the lid in the trash. Okay. So then we're going to close up our card. And we're just going to stick this owl right in his little cubby hole there. Okay, and then we'll press him down. Make sure he's glued in there. Ta-da! All right, so cute. All right, now we need our little sentiment. So I'm going to grab, let's choose this time. Let's choose It's Your Day. Can you see that one right there? I don't know if you can or not. But there's three sentiments for this set. So there's my friend, hoot hoot, you're so cute, and it's your day. So this time we're going to use It's Your Day. And because it's a small sentiment, I'm just going to line it up on my grid paper and then add it to one of my little clear box. This is clear box B. And I have a little piece of white right over here. And I'm just going to stamp on it. hopefully I'll stamp straight. So I'm gonna set my ink down and tap, tap, tap on the ink. Until I get a nice shiny layer of ink on my stamp. Line it up and press it down. And there we have our sentiment. So I can clean it off with my jammy. Okay, there's our sentiment. And what I'm going to do is take my scissors. And I'm going to trim the edges. Just like that. Okay, so here's my little, it's your day. I don't know if I keep trying to show you things and I'm not sure it's working out, but I'm doing the best I can. Let's cover up that ink before it gets knocked into something or I lose it like I just did the lid to my glue. And then we need another little piece of mossy metal. Let's see. I have a whole bunch of scraps in here. I made some little bookmarks, not that you can tell, but they were snakes. So you can see where their little teeth were. And I sold them at a Kids Santa's workshop. And those kids absolutely loved those little snake bookmarks. They were the cutest thing. So this we're going to cut at 3/4 of an inch. And let's see if that lines up. There we go. And then we're going to glue our sentiment right to that. And make sure I remember to look for that lid to my glue before I go upstairs. Okay, so we're going to glue it right in the middle. So it's just like this. And then we're going to take our scissors again. And we're going to trim those ends so that it matches. So this right on here. Turn right on here. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. It's we're making it by hand, and so it is what it is. And we're going to attach it on here with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And I keep forgetting in between our times together to look for my regular size Stampin' Dimensionals. When I get down here to craft, sometimes I don't bother looking for things or putting things away. It's all, I only just want to get right to business. And I know it's probably, I probably should spend 5 minutes each time at least cleaning it up, but I don't. If I would do that, maybe I'd be done. But here I am, and I am not done. I'm nowhere near done. All right, so there is that. And on this first one, I added a little bow. So let me find some twine here. I know I just saw some. Sorry, I almost got distracted over there for a second. And something else I found. So here is my twine. It's actually linen thread is what it's called. And we're going to tie a little double bow. So what we're going to do is pull them out and fold it in half. And then we'll make a little loop on the left, go around, and pull it up. Right, and then I'm going to pull it really slowly because I have found that if I pull this too fast, I end up twisting it quite a bit, and I don't want that. Now, when it gets close to where you want it to be, then you can pull and pull it tight. But until then, I found I try really hard not to twist it. Okay. So here's our little bow. There we go. And we're going to trim the ends. And we can put that on with our mini glue dot. And we're all done. Except now I can't find the mini glue dots. Where did they go? Oh. I really do need to clean in here. Okay. I'm not kidding. I know if you were watching at the beginning when I first said hello, you may have seen he's part of the mess that's behind me now. I haven't had as much time in my creating corner lately. Not nearly as much time as I would like, and not as much time as I usually get. Okay. There's our little bow, and here's our card. Okay, so here is the card in the end. Goes just like this. And here is the one that we pasted it from. That looks like this. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for Stampin' Sunday. Hope that you are having fun and in your creative space. I know that it can be a challenge to make the time to create, but it really is worth it. It's a great outlet for all kinds of energy that builds up inside us. So I hope that you get that chance to make something that you want to make. Thank you, Anne. I when she sent me that video, I thought I have to make that. So I didn't even go looking for the measurements or anything. I just kind of watched the video and thought I'm going to do this right now while I have the time. So thank you for joining me tonight. I will see you all next week for another Stampin' Sunday episode. Have a great week and happy stamping.